Hi everyone, for today's video I want to discuss the relatively new and emerging electric vehicle manufacturer, Nikola. Named after Nikola Tesla, which I'm pretty sure another electric vehicle manufacturer already did. We'll just go with it. If you find anything informative or beneficial, go hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to be doing a lot of stock analyses on up and coming growth stocks, tech stocks, EV stocks. I'm going to be analyzing my favorite EV companies, so you don't want to miss that. So go hit the subscribe button and I would really appreciate it. All right, without further ado, let's get right into it. So Nikola is a relatively new electric vehicle manufacturer, specifically focusing on electric trucks and bigger electric EV rigs. It was founded in 2014 and is headquartered in Phoenix, Arizona. They have 3 subsidiary companies working underneath them, these being Nikola Motor Company, Nikola Energy Company, and Nikola Powersports. I will be going over Nikola's grandiose claims, some potential concerns I have with this company, and I will also be giving my own personal opinion of whether I currently think Nikola is a sell, hold, or buy, and whether or not they hold any long-term potential. If you had only ever paid attention to Nikola's news briefings, their tweets from CEO Trevor Milton, well, now former CEO Trevor Milton, and their website, you would think Nikola is an investor's dream. Like you cannot go wrong. Nothing ever is bad. And they're basically going to be the next Tesla, no questions asked. It's become quite clear that electric vehicles are the way of the future, and Nikola claims to be really sliding into this trucking and shipping environment really well. However, diving deeper into this company's balance sheet, their future and current business operations, and where they actually lie, a more insidious and skeptical view starts to emerge. So beginning with their motor company, this is essentially their bread and butter. They have 4 products within the subsidiary, this being the Nikola 1, 2, Tre, and the Badger. The Nikola 1 and 2 are electric and hydrogen fuel cell semi-trucks. The only difference between the 2 of them is that the Nikola 2 doesn't have a sleeper cabin, and the Nikola Tre is a fully electric and hydrogen fuel cell semi-cab over, specifically targeted at the Australian, European, and Asian markets. Nikola has reported that they have over $10 billion in pre-orders to be filled. However, diving deeper into this, you can quickly realize that there is a $0 down payment for semi-trucks. I could literally right now go and pre-order 10 semi-trucks for $0 down. All I would have to put in is my name and my address, and there we go, 10 semi-trucks. And what Nikola is doing is they are claiming that all these semi-trucks that have been pre-ordered are set in stone, and they are considering this revenue for the future. I personally think it's quite irresponsible to claim that you have $10 billion of pre-orders when in fact they might not have a single dollar for all these pre-orders. How many people are going to back out? I'm not saying they're all going to back out, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying it's most probable that not all this $10 billion is going to come to fruition. Their 4th product within this line is the Nikola Badger, and this is their fully electric and hydrogen fuel celled pickup truck. And they are beginning reservations for pre-order of the Nikola Badger on June 29th, 2020. You can pre-order the Nikola Badger with as little as $250 down, which also presents many concerns to me as a potential investor. They are also offering full refunds of the Nikola Badger up until November of 2020, and the skeptical investor side of my mind is thinking that they are offering this extremely easy entry and exit point to this Nikola Badger in order to boast to investors of their pre-order fulfillment orders, really to inflate their stock price and increase their market cap. When essentially a $250 down payment on a fully electric vehicle essentially means absolutely nothing, especially when considered that you can easily back out of this fulfillment by November. Unless you have cold hard cash and a plan in place to generate revenue in the very near future, buying the stock is pure speculation. Their 2nd subsidiary company, Nikola Energy Company, is focused on improving and increasing the usage of hydrogen fuel cells as a viable alternative to the pre-existing electric batteries that companies such as Tesla are currently using. They claim that they are lighter, function superior in cold weather, have longer range, and a shorter recharge time. Nikola plans on creating hydrogen fuel cell stations powered by solar and wind energy. I think it's important to realize that a lot of Nikola's current and future business operations is simply just talk at this point. A lot of the stuff they're saying hasn't come to fruition, and whether or not it will is up for much speculation. They are claiming that their hydrogen fuel cells are at least 2 times more powerful than Tesla's current electric battery. My one question and skepticism is saying, okay, well, Tesla has been around since 2003, has injected millions into battery research, has a vast network of engineers working around the clock, designing and maximizing efficiency of the battery, and this new company rolls around, relatively new, and suddenly has this magical battery that can function much more superior than Tesla's. I'm just not buying it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm sure some of you are going to hate on me for hating on Nikola currently, but it's just the way I see it. Nikola also claims to be a zero emissions company, and this is all the way from the manufacturing of their cars to their hydrogen cell fuel stations, to actually making the batteries themselves, but time will tell. Their third subsidiary company is Nikola Powersports, and they are an off-road and powersports manufacturer. They have 3 products within powersports, this being the NZT, a fully electric 4-seater highway vehicle prototype, the Reckless, a military-grade electric OHV, and the Wave, an electric watercraft vehicle. I would personally feel more comfortable if they were focusing on a specific item rather than entering the watercraft world at the same time they're trying to gain a foothold in the electric semi-truck manufacturing sphere. It just feels off to me. All right, I had to get some light in here. It's absolutely pouring outside, so bear with me if this is just bad lighting. I'm sorry, I'll fix it for next time. I think it's extremely important to drive home the point that Nikola has yet to sell a single vehicle. The kid selling lemonade down your street yesterday made more money than Nikola did. I know that businesses try to rapidly expand and focus on profitability down the future, but I'm not sure that profitability and that revenue is going to be generated as easily as Nikola claims it's going to be. I'm fairly confident that much of this $10 billion, when push comes to shove, is going to evaporate, and I'm fearful that this is going to plunge the stock price down. The more I look into this company, the more I kind of get Firefest vibes. Do you remember that Netflix doc? I don't know, it's the whole thing just kind of feels fishy and off to me. And I don't know if this is just from former CEO and now executive chairman Trevor Milton or their grandiose claims, but something definitely feels off and wrong. There have also been reports of Nikola trying to sue Tesla over claims that Tesla stole specific ideas from Nikola. However, diving deeper into this, there have been suggestions that, in fact, Tesla had indeed thought of this first, put it into a prototype, and then Nikola saw that prototype, patented it, and then tried to sue Tesla over it. Jumping into Nikola's balance sheet, we see that they have an absurd, highly diluted current market cap. Taking their shares outstanding, 360.9 million, and their current share price as of June 26th close of 63.55, we get a market cap of 22.935 billion. To put that into perspective, Ford's current market cap is also roughly $23 billion. Keep in mind that Nikola does not have a single vehicle on the road currently. This is absolutely insane to me. The amount of speculative buying of this stock is just unfathomable. Going through their financials is actually really difficult to find any considerable data points, as they really haven't filed anything through the SEC. Going back to their IPO, Nikola was bound to be hit by early market volatility, which it did initially, opening at 37.55 on June 4th on the NASDAQ and rising over 100% 2 days later to 73.27. On Friday, June 26th, it lost 10.62% valuation, falling to 63.55. They already have a 52-week range of 10.27 low and a 93.99 high. This is a delta of 83.72, indicating massive volatility. Going to their Q1 income statement, their total revenue as of March 31st was $58,000, while incurring an operating expense of $32 million, resulting in a net income loss of $33.163 million. In 2019, they suffered a loss of $88.66 million while generating $482,000 revenue. They have $75.52 million in cash, which is decent. However, I'm constantly reminding myself that if and when they do implement the hydrogen fuel cell technology, that this infrastructure doesn't already exist. Nikola describes having conversations with their truckers after a sale about where they will actually need a hydrogen fuel cell station. This hydrogen fuel cell station infrastructure seems like a major potential issue down the road to me. Nikola is saying that these hydrogen fuel cell stations are going to cost roughly $15 million per, with its original estimate being as high as $40 million per. Going through Nikola's news conferences and statements, I think it's pretty easy to get caught up in all the hype. They opened really well. There just seems to be a lot of unfounded hype in my opinion. I'm well aware EV is the way of the future. It's going to happen. However, I just don't think you can pinpoint a single company at this point in time, especially with having $0 in revenue, essentially. I don't think Nikola is telling us, the investors, about the potential massive hurdles they face. And I see a major hurdle being in the infrastructure they have to put down in order to make these trucking routes viable. How much is it actually going to cost to make one of these hydrogen fuel cell stations? It used to be 40 million, now it's 50 million. That's a pretty big gap for me. Where are they going to need these stations? How many of these stations are they going to be? Is the hydrogen fuel cell going to live up to its insane specs? Will truckers follow up on these pre-sales? Will the hydrogen fuel cell stations be feasible and priced down to this $15 million price point that they think they can hit? Will consumers even want the Nikola Badger when there are other options already available in the market? Will another more leveraged company that already has a foothold in the market, such as Tesla, be able to squeeze Nikola out? For me personally, there are way too many current variables in this foggy, somewhat unclear picture. I'm quite skeptical of this company as we speak right now. I think the current stock price is extremely diluted, and I could not imagine going in anywhere close to this current stock price until a more clear picture is painted. Am I saying that this company will never be a buy? No, I am not saying that whatsoever. I think that in a few years, if I saw some revenue being generated, a good infrastructure being placed down, consumers actually demanding the Badger and the 1, 2, and tray, the viability in this hydrogen fuel cell, the viability in the hydrogen fuel cell stations, I would definitely consider Nikola being a viable long-term option. But until then, until I see these grandiose claims that Nikola is currently stating in their news conferences, I just don't see it for me personally. However, I really do believe in the electric vehicle manufacturing business. I see electric vehicles as being the only vehicle within the next, let's say, 10, 20 years. It's just bound to happen. So trucks, yes, eventually they will be all electric in my point of view. And this stock, to me at least, feels more like a bet rather than a stable long-term investment. There is an estimated $600 billion currently in the electric trucking manufacturing sphere. And this is only going to be growing within the next coming months and years. So there's bread to be made. I do wish the best for this company. If I do see revenues coming, if I do see this infrastructure they're talking about, if the hydrogen fuel cell station and the cell itself live up to the expectations and the specs that Nikola has said they can reach, I would be amazed. I would be so happy for them. I would consider buying in if the stock price lowered drastically. But until then, I'm just not confident with it myself personally. If you are thinking about it, do your own due diligence in comprehending them. Really go try to uncover as much as you possibly can because it really is hard to uncover actual concrete analyses about Nikola right now. Nikola has reported that they do expect to see revenues in 2021 after rolling out their Nikola tray in the European, Australian, and Asian markets. So if revenue starts generating then, we'll see. Maybe it'll become a buy in my point of view. I'll be keeping up with this company. I'm going to be releasing new videos. I'm going to be keeping up with their Q2, Q3, Q4 earnings reports. So hit that subscribe button. In the coming weeks and months, I'm going to be talking about up and coming EV companies, tech companies, high growth investing companies. There's bread to be made. Let's go get it together. I really appreciate knowing your guys' point of view on this subject matter. I really would. I'll respond. We can have a good discussion about it. Thanks for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you guys next time. All right. Thanks.